Okay. Well,
We have 2 minutes of silence to start recording, and then we start. Okay?
okay, 2 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, great for me. Just one moment.
But don't disappear.
Okay, thank you. Bertrand! Sacha! Appelle Sacha. Sacha! 2 minutes. Okay, no, I don't disappear. I'm just there. No, office is great. I was just in the store. Finally, I find the possibility to be in the store.
So we can start. My name is Ганна Корягіна. I'm operations leader for Сeetrus Ukraine company, international developer present in Ukraine, managing almost 300 shopping centers in 10 countries. And recently we started our common project of public talks with international retailers in a partnership with NI Ukraine company, Vitaly.
Hello, Anna. Hello, Cedric. My name is Vitaly Boyko. I am a CEO of NI Ukraine. NI Ukraine is a part of NI Global, one of 3 the biggest real estate consultancy company in the world, one of the most successful broker in the world. And I am very glad to invite our guest, Cedrik Brosse, to our meeting. Of course, today we will speak about Leroy Merlin and your plans.
Okay.
So today our guest is Седрік Броссе, CEO of Leroy Merlin Ukraine. Bonjour, Cedric. And we would like to start with some introduction question. Ukrainian people know very well Leroy Merlin. It is a do-it-yourself French brand. Maybe you can give some very brief introduction. What is Leroy Merlin in Ukraine now and for you?
Okay. First of all, thank you for your invitation, because for us it's very interesting to talk about our company now in Ukraine. Just to explain where I am now, because it's very important for me to precise why I carry a mask, FPP2, because I am in the store for the next one, because we will open new store this Friday morning. That's why I'm at Retroville. And yes, of course, I will start to answer to your question. Very simple now. The group Leroy Merlin now existed more than 30 years ago. We are in different countries. We are in 12 countries. We more 120,000 collaborators in world. That's why. And now we have more than 800 stores. And now in Ukraine, we started and we launched the company in 2008. More than 10 years we are there in Ukraine. To go in deeper that you asked me before, sure, it's more than 10 years. A lot of things happens in Ukraine.
Yes.
Yes, of course, you know. But I don't want to talk about after Maidan, but it was more or less difficult for all the group. And when I talk about European group like us, because of course our headquarters every time staying in the country where it is in euro, for the exchange rate it could be sometimes complicated. But even if it was complicated, we are very proud because we opened one store in 2017 in Kiev, in Kiseva Road. We just started to, perhaps we can say that new format, because you decrease the size of the store. If I don't say mistake, it's 8,000 square meter. And it's different because when I saw the first 3 stores, it was between 12 until 16 square meter by store. That's why we try to reduce. Perhaps it was a feeling or not. I will explain to you why after. And in 2019, we opened Odessa, the first store in region. We are very proud because, of course, to start by the capital, like Kiev. Of course, everybody knows the potential of this city. But when you are foreigner, you try to understand all your inhabitants. This could be complicated when we start in region. And now this year we have proud because, of course, we will open, when I said before, new store in Kiev, and we prepare one of the pop-up store for this year in Kiev. Pretty sure we asked to me for the next step.
Yes.
For the next step, now we know that we can open 2 stores minimum by years. That for us is very important to understand. If we can open 1 more for this year, of course we will do. But not only in the capital, in region too, because when we see some city like Odessa, like of course Lvov or Kharkov or Dnipro, is huge city. It's not small city. Is more than 1 million inhabitants. That's why we're pretty sure we have the possibility to open store in this region.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cedric. You just answered for my first question. Yes. What is your plans for nearest future, and which regions are interesting for your expansion? We understood what you are ready to open 2 stores per year, and you are ready to be opened in big Ukrainian cities with near 1 million people inhabitants. Yes, are you right?
Yes, exactly,
So, exactly.
Right? Yeah, of course. If some of you know Leroy Merlin, because our work group is HDO group, we have 2 kind of DIY retailer. One about like the brand that you know, Leroy Merlin in Ukraine. We have one other brand is Bricoman. And more or less, that is very important because here in Ukraine, we will do only 1 brand, Leroy Merlin. Just explain you the difference. After that, you understand why we go in region, because normally Bricoman is dedicated only for the professional part, and Leroy Merlin is usually habitants. That's why now in Ukraine we do both. We sell for professional and inhabitants, and that is easy because normally we split the development or not according to some country. For example, we have Bricoman and Leroy Merlin. And now in Ukraine, we understood it's possible to do this, to give the same good product and good price for the same customer, professional, and inhabitants. That is very important. And now, when we know that, we are sure we can go with only 1 brand in region, and not to duplicate 2 brands. And I know, yeah.
I have one more particular question. We understood what your first store was near 8,000 square meters, but what about your current formats? Are you ready to do only such big stores, or maybe like Decathlon, who are ready to open and small stores and 40-meter stores? You are ready to be smaller concept, which will be maybe not only like a big box, but can be maybe in a fashion gallery. You can rent small premises. What about your size? What is the biggest format for you today, and what is the smallest format for you?
That is very good question. Very good question, because now I'm not the first person that I will say that all the retail change. All the retail change, and for different reasons. We can go deeper after that, and I will see you in the store. But what's the first difference? That now we have not only physical store, we have digital store. This means a lot of changement, a lot of IT transformation in our group, for example, and supply too. That's why when I explained to you before, yes, of course, we reduce the size of the store. Not because we did not need more square meter to show the assortment, just because of the business change. And now our customer, when I see they need to find the product faster, to need new experience, I can go in deeper after that. But they say, okay, what is the big difference between 5, 8, 12, and 12? What is the big difference for the customer? More or less now, when we see between 8 and 12, nothing, nothing changed. Because we can show the same quantity of article for the customer. The difference could be the showroom. more or less, it's true. But now, for example, for the store that we will open Friday, it's only 5,000. When I compare with the first store, it was 12. That's why it's more than 2 times less. And when I see, I say, okay, what is the big difference there? Not for the quantity of article, no, but the quality is better. First of all, for better experience. The services, the showroom, all is totally different. But now we can do like that because we're better in merchandising, first of all. And after that, we have put very good supply chain. I give you one example to understand this part very important. Before we need 3,000 square meter for one store for the logistic part. And now when I compare for this store that we open, we have only 100. You imagine?
100.
It's totally different story according to the storage. Why is possible? Because now we are more efficiency about the logistic is the future. If you don't control the logistic, you don't control the retail. And the third, what I said before, is for the digital part. Sure, because you have more and more repo on our customer research online and just purchase for the purchase offline. They say, okay, I want this product, I order, I want to pick up the product in the store. Okay, you have a click and collect. Okay, perhaps I can we can deliver at home. Yes, of course. These 3 main reasons: digital, supply, and after that, optimization of merchandising, is the 3 more reasons why we decrease the size of the store.
Okay, we get it. As we understood, you are now in some project which is going to be open in nearest future. Can you tell us where you are now and show maybe few parts of your shop?
Yeah, of course, I will show you now. But I know that we will come back on the location according to our development. To be frankly speaking, yes, of course, now we know that Ramanan, it's a brand that our inhabitants like. And that's why in Kiev, in a few time with 6 stores, and I hope in 2-3 years more with 10 stores in Kiev, the brand will be more needed for our customers. That's why, you understand, we will increase new store in Kiev. And when I explain to you, I don't want to give some date, but sure, we will open a region because we can let our inhabitants without only one brand. They must know the European brand. To show you the difference in the store.
Not the difference, only a few pictures maybe.
First of all, our part is very important for us. It is all the relationship with the customer. When I talk about it, for example, we have specific welcome points in our store now with our brand. It has our color. It's green, of course. I understood it's a good color now in Ukraine. I don't want to go deeper, but just to show you the difference, every time we have one part like that, it's a welcome point where it's totally dedicated for our customer to take them, to care them, and to answer to some information that they ask to us. But the cash liner changed totally because I remember for the first cash liner, it was big one with it's very complicated to put 3-4 cash liner there in a store. Very different area for the cash liner. We have more than 10 cash liner where we can put 3 because all the customer when they go to the store they go fast. If you understand that, you understand the future of the retail for DIY. I can show you now different part of the store. It's different when we have become, I remember, according to the assortment. I can give you some example when before we will do some business, more I say discounter hard business. And for you, I show you just one thing. It's one part of the decoration. Never before we present like that with some presentation, more decorative and so on. It's normal because now everybody know in Ukraine who decide at home? It is the wife that decide. If the decoration is very important in our store, it's just only to let the wife decide for the couple to for their product. At the same time, we go on in the project, because I remember it was a big difference in France when I compare with our competitor. I can give you some name of competitor, perhaps you know or not. It was Castorama or some brand like that in France. When we start to compete with them, we win the market because we start to sell some project. Which kind of project I'll talk a project like that. Kitchen, of course, you know. And the quality of the kitchen, if I compare with the previous year, is very high level of quality. Before it was just at discount. Now our customers, they say, no, you want kitchen like at home. We want the color, we want the moderate, we want exactly the kitchen I can find at home. I said, okay, but you want to do some concession? Of course we can now. Before, no. That is different aspect of the business that will change. And now we present more decoration, more project. Even if we have started this year to work in different departments for inhabitants. I give you a very good example in few time. For two main part of product. For example, I give you for the sanitary. I show you more or less our furniture before, like that, totally white, very simple. And now, with the color, different color and so on. We don't have the choice now. We don't have the choice to propose different quality, because the big difference when I saw when I go to visit different habitations in Kiev region, it's very simple. All the product is high level of quality. It's not cheap. The price is cheap, but the quality is high. Is that we made to understand in Ukraine, because if you don't increase the quality, you are not in the market. And now it's very great because we will start just to have new assortment. Assortments that you can sell, for example, in France or in Spain, Poland, and so on. We can sell now in Ukraine. That is very great for us. I'll give you one example before we present every time a raw product like that, very massive and so on. Now we are when we see, for example, in this store, we have showroom directly. We can see some product like that, we choose, you put at home. And after that, we see it's totally different. We see mosaic of products. We change how we can do the business.
Great. I have one question about your expansion. For example, of course, you know what Kyiv is one of the most developed capital in Eastern Europe as minimum. For example, we constructing more apartments, twice more apartments than Poland or than Warsaw, and twice more apartments than Berlin. Is it important for your development, or families who are doing refurbishment of the existing flats are more valuable for you? Who is your main clients? Who are doing refurbishment, or who is preparing his new flat?
That is a very good question, because of course, every time it's a refreshment in Europe. Yes, because normally in the history of the group, when I see the customer have some designer, architect, and they just choose the product. And sometimes they don't think about Roman in a different country. But the opportunities that we have in Ukraine, that we have, again, some apartments totally empty. So few, they are empty. In this case, they are empty, they are not designer and so on. They can go to Roman to choose their product. And for that, in this case, we help them for the first purchase, not refreshment, for the first purchase for their apartment. And more or less, now we have a lot of refreshment. I talk that when I talk about inhabitants, that is Israeli inhabitants is only 70% of our customer. Because 30 of them is professional. The name that you know, of course, is brigade. And then they do all. They can breed, they can do some refreshment because they take the opportunity of the market. It's the brigade that you work is between 3 until 20-25% of the brigade. You can imagine. It's very small brigade, is not a construction developer where we work. That's why now 80% of our customers live in apartment because, of course, you know, in Kiev or how it is. And the other part of the business for us is very important is regarding the garden. When I talk as a garden, I talk only cultural aspects. It means that for this aspect, now the garden every year is more and more important in Romania. It's great because we can sell a lot of possibility to improve their dacha.
And in Kiev now we have a huge demand for out-of-city locations for cottages, for townhouses in suburb. And that's why I think what in nearest future you will have a huge business for garden. Are you ready to? Are you ready to be located outside the city in suburbs?
I like this question. I think we don't have the choice. You don't have the choice. For example, for cottage and so on. When I explained before to you, the quality of the product is very important. Very important to sell very good price and good quality. Never good price and bad quality. Is that if you don't understand that, it could be complicated. But something to change too is the proximity of the retailer to the customer. Because a lot of them, they dislike to move everywhere with more than 30 minutes by car or 1 hour. They say, okay, perhaps you can buy online. But in DIY, you can choose online. Every time you want to see the product, to touch it, to be sure the product will improve or not to your house. Is that a lot of customers, when they live far from our store, they ask to us, is possible to invent some store different size, perhaps 300 or until 1,000 square meter to show the product, more than showroom, like cash and carry. We just take the product. That's why, yes, we have started some tests like that, but we must improve. We must improve, sure.
Okay, thank you, Cedric. Maybe let's return to our current situation. We have a huge problem with lockdown, with coronavirus. Can you tell little bit information for us about your impact of coronavirus on your assortment, on your retail? For example, I read a lot about DIY assortment in Germany, where a lot of DIYs are located outside the city, and they became the nearest shops for a lot of people who are living in suburbs. And that's why people come into DIY and they want to buy and food too. And a lot of DIY operators insert in way assortment and food products. Are you ready? Do you have such experience? And do you have some significant changes in your assortment in accordance with people needs during the COVID-19 or after the pandemic?
I understand. First of all, no, we don't sell food.
Apples?
Never.
No apples?
No. Even if the apple is green. No. Never, because it's not our business. We are very specialists. We are specialists in DIY for decoration, for garden, for project. It's not our business. And now we have very good experience with some synergy with the full retailer. I remember when we started with Leroy Merlin, we started to stay alone. Now, when I see the project since 2017 with the Kisera Road project, for example, in our store, it was with a full retailer. We prefer the synergy with some partnership like that. It could be different brand. Is better because during the coronavirus, when we change, two main things. First of all, of course, it was very important during this catastrophic pandemic situation to sell all the products for the sanitary condition, to improve the sanitary condition. And of course, for our drugstore part and sanitary goods, any problem for us to have on hand now because some change to add more assortment. It was the first part of the change with this pandemic period. And after that, what is the big difference? What I say, it's according to the digital part. Because just to give you one example, I remember 2 years ago, internet says it was 2% of our turnover. In the beginning, yes, 2. In the beginning of the year, it was 10. And during the period of April, just to give you an example, some days it was 40%. 40% of the turnover. Imagine how you can change all the business unit. And now, for give you an example, we stay in 20%. That's why the big change is according to the behavior with our customer. They want, I repeat perhaps that I say, they want perhaps store very friendly with a good relationship with our collaborators to see the product, perhaps for the usual product cash and carry, but they want too much showroom. And of course, he's not happy to say that, but during this catastrophic period, you see me, I have a mask. Never I would do a video with that, with a mask in one other time. That's why all our behavior changed too. Now we take all the very important and good condition to sell the product. I think, for example, some behavior change because now when we enter in our store before, recycling. Okay, of course, we have some bus to recycling our product because it's totally normal for the development. But to have some gel distributor, antiseptic distributor, why? Because this behavior change. That's why we know that our customer, they will need more click and collect to pick up the product, more to sanitary rules. Perhaps they will give up some part. We don't have the choice to keep it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Cedric, now you're in your new store and you mentioned that digital is very important. According to some research, almost 55% of do-it-yourself consumers are making sales online now. So it's a new challenge also for offline stores. You mentioned that the presentation of goods is very important. You even showed us some new examples. And what about client experience? Maybe some gamification zone or some education zone, because also to the research, millennials and don't have very developed skills for do-it-yourself or even for establishing shelves or something like that. So what are you proposing?
Not only millennials.
Not only.
Yeah, that is very important to say that.
Maybe some workshops, educational programs, something like that.
Yeah, that we change our how to do the business because it's not to say you change whole, you adapt. We adapt the business because we are different generation. We can see kind of customer with 20 years. After that, we can see one pattern of 60 years. How you manage all the diversity. And they need different things. Some of them, they need to touch the product. For that, never will give up the possibility to touch our product in a store. For example, if I want to touch once this product, I touch it. I see it's a good quality or not. If I want to go in the internet, okay, of course, I will give the information there. I will give the information in a different place and a store to say, yes, we can find the product online with more assortment. In one other part, we can use it and you take the product, for example, I can give you a very good example with instruments. Because you have some drill, you can take the product to use it. For example, I will show you some product. You have like that in our store. We show the product. If you can take it, you can use it with our collaborator to say, yes, okay, it's a good quality or not. That is very important experience. Because if you sell only the packaging, never we will sell the product in DIY. And for the pedagogic point, now we have the good opportunity to put more and more video. Because of course, when you buy one product like a perforator like that, it could be very fun because you say, yes, I'm proud to buy this product. How we can use it? Is that, for example, in France, on Poland, on Russia, or perhaps in Spain, they started to prepare a lot of pedagogic video to explain what is possible to do a wall, what's possible to do to build a wall too. That's why now we just started the pedagogic video, and we will open our YouTube channel dedicated for the pedagogic. Not to explain who is Leroy Merlin, because it could be interesting, but perhaps 2 minutes after that is too much. With interest for our customer to say, yes, I want to do that. I want to prepare my terrace. How I do? We show you, and what do you need to do? Is that all of the customers they ask to us, explain to us how it's possible to do that we dream. It is a big difference that we have for this year, for the end of this year, and for the next one. More or less, I decide today to say that more or less we must to educate, to provide some video very simple to use it for our inhabitants.
Okay, so with workshops, you are also going online and not in store.
No, in store too, because you have some masterclass.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's different masterclass. In masterclass, we have, for example, we have masterclass in decoration or for the painting. It's totally different because you use the product, you see it's a good color, I can do my wall with the paint. Okay, great. After that, we have different workshops, for example, for barbecue and so on. We show to the product, to the customer what is better to use it. For that, we use the masterclass. It is in store because the store can be more in live. We do every time during the Saturday in different store. You have dedicated place for the customer. This name is masterclass. We just started the masterclass with a dedicated place. It was in Odessa. And now all the store in Ukraine we will be with a masterclass room.
Okay. Thank you. There are some new trends, and it will be interesting to know your opinion how it can influence on do-it-yourself business. It's rental living and co-living in general. Maybe it's not something that is happening in Ukraine now, but we have such trends that people don't want to invest a lot in their houses, and shared economy is something that is a global trend. And do you think it will have some negative influence on do-it-yourself sphere or not?
For us, it's a chance.
A chance?
Well, yeah, for two aspects. For when I talk about the co, because co for us is a cultural aspect of our NDA. That is very important because it's a culture, Leroy Merlin culture. Perhaps you talk with Decathlon and then perhaps more later with Osha, I don't know. But that is very important in our group the culture of collaboration. Is that what it is important? Because if you work in collaboration with your collaborator, every time you ask what you will think about the product, I ask for each collaborator how many visits they've done for in our customer. For example, my example, I do each year 10 visits to see the apartment, to see the data, to see different example I can do. After that, we discuss between us, what do we think? We have enough or not assortment? We have enough or not services? And we have the collaboration in our NDA. And that is important because the customer see it. If they understand you collaborate in the company, after that, the relationship we have with the customer is normal to collaborate. We are not there only to sell the product. When I explained to you before, we are there to educate, to explain why it's important to improve your home. Perhaps you just buy a drill, you will explain how you can do better in your home. And one other aspect that you say very important, now more and more person reuse the product. Because, okay, it could be good price and good quality. Some products it's expensive. And to change the product is not so easy. That's why some customer, for example, we started with the brigades. Once they can use more of the product, we take the product. We come back the product, we give them some bonus to buy one other. Because they say perhaps the product that we have can be reused by one other customer. But now I understand it's not the problem to give the product to reuse. It's just about the possibility to do according to the law. And because you can give for free the product, that we know. And that's why you must to find one means to do not a business, but to just be totally in phasing with our society.
And what do you think about leasing of equipment that you are selling? Is it possible or not?
We must, because now, for example, we have leasing for professional is working very well because you understand why. When we inspected some products, some partners, they say we must lease very good product, because if we lease bad product, the experience, wow, we can imagine the rest of the experience. But now our customers say, no, I don't want, and we talk about millennium generation, they explain to us, no, I don't want to buy this product, I just will use one time.
Yeah.
Plus 2 times, why I will buy it? Okay, you want to rent how long? Well, I just need one half a day. Okay, but now we will propose these services before the end of this year.
Okay. Some general. Yes, Vitaly?
Sorry. No. Your question.
Okay. Classical question about CSR company of Leroy Merlin. Before preparing to this interview, I read an article that, for example, your Italian colleagues have some project with Eco Islands, with collecting some electronic goods and equipment. And what about Leroy Merlin Ukraine? What are the main initiatives in CSR policy here?
I'm surprised. Now I'm surprised because in Ukraine, all is possible and impossible too. But when it's possible, it goes very fast, very fast. Now with more than 5 years, I am there in Ukraine. I say, wow, the market is totally open. It's not a market we can imagine so close. It's an open market, and they give us some example. I just gave you some computer, but you know, of course, that Rosetta, imagine this kind of computer existing in Ukraine. It's huge. You have a lot of experience. It's very good. When we see, for example, retail full like a Sipo, wow, it's incredible that they can to provide in the market. That's why now our customer, when I come back in DIY, they talk about what could be okay to improve our store to improve our home in Poland. But no, just only for 1 year, for all the life. Or you can to sell us some product for the recycling, for example.
Okay.
Was possible to have a environment product. Oh, it's totally different space that we can just start. We are just in the beginning, us in Romania. But you understand, it's not only potential of business. It's means where we go to our society in Ukraine. That's why you must be ready to give the answer. We just started, but we have a lot of solutions because some country they started before us, and we'll copy past the best practice.
Thank you, Cedric.
Can I ask you, Cedric, about competition? You have experience in different countries, but in Ukraine you have a very powerful competitor, Epicenter. And please explain us, do you see some unique features in Epicenter's model, or this is a standard local competitor for you, as you have seen in other markets many times?
I like location every time because no, it's very important to talk about our competitor. I don't consider our competitor Epicenter only like a standard competitor. It's a local one. I like my brand Ramana, of course. Every time we must to be locally. You must to first the product for our customer. We work with our collaborators. They explain to us how they must to sell and so on. But Epicenter is a local company. They know they do very good business. And I see the positive point from them because we learn a lot when we compete with them. Because when we see their assortment is huge. For me, it's like a physical marketplace. We can find a lot of product. And when we see the business, it's a very reactive business. Even if there are more than 50 stores, they go fast. And you say, wow, it's possible to go fast with a huge company like that. And you say, okay, Epicenter is a very good competitor. Or it's possible to reinforce our strong part of our business. Us, we are not Epicenter. For us, the more important is the relationship with our customer. Every time, it is not our NDA. The relationship between our customer and our collaborators. We are only DIY. Our activity is to improve home. Improve home is not to sell different products like food and so on, or perhaps some different activities. That's why that you learn when we go very in specification of DIY. Okay, sure, we have a good competitor, very agile competitor. And every time we must to improve all that we do because never they will let us. Yeah, thanks. Okay, Epicenter is one competitor. When I explain there, we have different competitor very strong in Ukraine. For example, when the open market. The open market is traditional business. Is not give up. They stay, and all the specialists they stay too. We have a lot of specialists in the market.
Okay, thank you. And about Ukraine as a whole country, as a whole market. No, generally, retail sales in Ukraine one of the biggest in Eastern Europe. And what about current position of Ukraine in Leroy Merlin list of the best countries? Is Ukraine between leaders or opposite bottom line? What is current situation of Ukraine? And who are our neighbors? Can you compare turnover in Ukraine with some countries which have the same?
Yeah, I understand. In Ukraine, we not compare with our other business unit and worldwide. Now we have more than 20 precisely company Sometimes we have 3 by country. For example, in France, we have 4. In Poland, we have 2. When I accumulate all, we are in a 15th position according to the turnover. That's interesting because we can say, yes, it is in Eastern Europe and so on, but we have this level of volume. Now we enough talk about the growing. We are in the top 5. What does it mean? That is very important because it means the potential of the country. It means that the potential of the country is huge. Even if every time it's complicated, because you know these different crises, the potential stay in Ukraine. That's why that is very important. The growing shows the difference. And the main big difference I can compare with my colleagues is not according the concept. The concept is the same, more or less the same. Whereas with more or less maturity of quality of product, more or less is the same. Now the big difference it is the quantity and the basket for other business units. I'll give you one example to understand very well. For the quantity of customer by store, it's huge in Ukraine. When I compare with another store, this could be 2 times more than other country. For some, we are more. We are compare. After Russia, we have the second country. We have more customer by store. After that, it is Romania. It's totally strange because it's eastern part in Europe. We have more customer by store. And if I compare the quantity of products that we sell by store, it's huge too. We are second on our right for the group. It's a big difference. It's only the purchasing power. For example, to give you, it's 10 times less in France, 5 times less than Poland, 3 times less than Russia. And we know when the purchasing power will increase in Ukraine, oh, the potential could be huge. The potential existing now, imagine with more purchasing power. I believe a lot of the potential of the country. That's why I want to open, so I want to develop our website and all the delivery process for more good experience for our customer. I believe it.
Okay, we believe too.
I'm pretty sure.
Anna, do you have some questions?
No, I think we did all our questions, and we have a lot of questions from audience. But if you don't mind.
Please don't forget about our standard question about professional challenges.
Yes, yes. We have it traditionally at the end. What is your professional challenge for 2020?
Very simple. 2. First of all, make happen. What does it mean? Expansion, new store, new web store too, growing of turnover. Very simple. And the second one, make positive human development and environment good impact. That's all for us. It's a big challenge.
Thank you, Cedric. So regarding the questions from the audience, the first one is that we know that you are planning the opening of new Leroy Merlin in Retreville this week. Can you say what's new do the clients have to expect and how the operational activity of the shop will be organized due to lockdown? How you will control the quantity of coming clients? Will you have some limits for the quantity of incoming clients?
Yes, of course. First, it is according to the quarantine period. For example, now in all the stores that we have in Ukraine, we control the quantity of customers in our store. Because even if it is a very good opportunity to open, you must respect all the sanitary rules. That is very, very important for our customer. Even if I show you, for example, we have some glass protect every time the relationship between our customer and with our collaborators. Sure, we must control the quantity. You don't have the choice. it is a law. After that, in our store, we see, because we open a new commercial center. This commercial center must be more and more new for all the customers. That's why we will learn. It's the first time we will open with the commercial center. Normally, we open a lot. Almost just near our face, we have one full retailer. But every time we will open a store, we invest a lot of communication. In this period, we can understand it's complicated to do communication. You must manage that. Perhaps we have one period to open the store because it's ready. After that, we have another time to do the communication. You must be totally aware about this period.
Okay. What are the top 3 regions for development? And what is the format that is in your priority for development?
I repeat that I said before. I think the city with more than 1 million of inhabitants it's our priority. That is sure. Which one? It's impossible to say because it depends on not the potential, the possibility to do. Sometimes I remember to talk every time about Lviv. Finally, we open Odessa. Now, perhaps I can talk about Lviv. Perhaps we will open Krakow in Ukraine to be sure where we do the business and which location is complicated. But we know where. It's one city of more than 1 million inhabitants. After that, for the size, it could be between more or less 10,000 square meters, because in region we need to put the first store with more storage for internet, of course.
Okay, thank you very much, Cedric. We view all of the questions. So thank you for participation. It was very interesting discussion. I hope you liked it too.
Thank you very much for your
Cedric,
time.
You as always was very optimistic, positive, and professional. Thank you for your explanation. Thank you for your information.